Well, we can't stop here, because we're in pony country now. Well, anyways, welcome back to the MLP Vlogs, and today we're taking a look at the new episode that came out today on the last weekend of January. This one is called Freeze a Crowd. In this episode, Fluttershy is going to a little, a bird watching thing or whatever it is, while Twilight and Cadence are hanging out with each other at the Star Swirl the Bearded competition, or at least the traveling museum. I really need to remember these things more. Anyways, what winds up happening next is that the rest of the main six find out that Discord is sick as a dog. Now, as you all know, I love Discord. I love John Delancey and his acting. And definitely what he puts into the character is spectacular. I mean, I haven't seen Discord since, like, the openings and the, the season premiere of Princess Twilight Sparkle for Season 4. So, with that said, what winded up happening next is that, of course, Discord travels to both Twilight and Cadence while they were at the Star Swirl Traveling Museum, and of course Discord asked them to help them out with each other, and that's when Discord asks them a favor for a glass of water. But not just simply a glass of water, like literally a musical number. It's sort of random how people just break into song. Though I have to admit, I did love the references in the song, including one with Twilight dressed up as Harry Potter. That's like, that actually did get me laughing. And with that said, what winds up happening after they get the Discord glass of water is that accidentally he drops the glass onto the floor, and of course Cadence tells him that, of course, Twilight and Cadence are told about this flower up in, like, the edge of Equestria. And of course the way they get there, actually a way they show them, is actually he shows them a map, and he's dressed up as Hunter S. Thompson from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I mean, it's just like, you went that far, didn't you, DHX? You went as far as to reference Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by dressing up Discord as Hunter S. Thompson from him. I almost felt like doing, like, the Johnny Depp impersonation of Discord, and, not like the Johnny Depp impersonation of Hunter S. Thompson, and then just being like, "We can't stop here. This is backcountry." And of course, they ride to the edge of Equestria on a chariot, which, to anyone's shock, Twilight can actually fly. Okay, all of you have to remember in the season premiere that obviously Twilight does not know how to fly, or how mysteriously she has seatbelts in her body. But in the case of this, who knows? I could care less about the logic in this, because it's MLP. It doesn't. I mean, most of the logic has to be consistent, right? With that said, they wind up finding the flower, and it turns out the thing is about like 10 times the size as it was shown in the part before the commercial break. And of course, they both lift up the flower using magic, of course. But what happens is that there's a creature that's been living under the thing the whole time, and of course they try to fight off each other, and of course they try to fight off the creature. Both of them get caught, and just for 1 second alone, I felt as if I just pressed the repeat button on my DVR, but realizing I didn't, is that they both said the exact same line 2 times. It's like, when Cadence gets caught, Twilight says that one line, where it's like, "You let go of my sister-in-law," and then next thing you know, Twilight gets caught, and Cadence is like, "You let go of my sister-in-law." It's like, Seriously, it's like I almost felt as if I pressed the repeat button or the rewind button on my DVR. But with that said, they wind up placing the creature down. They wind up actually defeating the creature using a bunch of magic, and of course covering the teacher, and of course covering the thing. And by the way, the creature uses the Wilhelm scream, which take a shot to that. And of course, what winds up happening is that Discord was actually faking his flu. Now, if you took a look at the flu and all that, it sort of looks like he turned like into like what was it, Violet from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where almost when like it was like Violet, you're turning Violet, Violet. It's like I almost sort of almost like feeling Living in Las Vegas of making that like reference. Man, a lot of references in this episode. Well, who cares? With that said, Discord winds up getting Cadence a little free trip into you know, actually appreciating the fact of being able to enjoy life even if you need a break from it, because Cadence actually spends a lot of time in the Crystal Empire with just looking at its all glorious crystal beauty. And of course they got themselves into a bunch of situations. And she actually does mention about the 3 times that Equestria almost fell into the wrong hands. And of course, you remember Camelot Wedding, Crystal Empire. I'm gonna need to forget that episode. And of course, I don't know whether it should be Games Ponies Play or Equestria Girls. I don't know. It's up to your choice. With that said, Discord winds up getting sick from the creature itself that was actually trapped under the pile of rocks and that screamed using the Wilhelm scream. And of course, Discord actually turns green with sickness. And of course, Fluttershy gets back and Discord is inside what looks like sort of the same isolated bubble that you see on random patients in hospitals. As, of course, everyone just wants to forgive Discord. Well, actually, not forgive Discord. One thing not turning out... I mean, Applejack and Rarity, I'm sure, is not appreciative of Discord and what he done to both of them. And, of course, Discord tries to ask for the glass of water again. And, of course, he gets denied. The end. So, with that said, freeze a crowd. Well, I love the references. So far, I managed to catch up to 4 of them. So, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Harry Potter, and actually, you know what? 5 of them. Because, you know, you wind up... Because it almost reminds me of, the sand creatures from Dune or whatever it is, or just, the thing that the Millennium Falcon almost escapes from in Star Wars, in, The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. And, especially love the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas reference. Since I could imagine someone just adding, like, the audio from that scene into that, part, and just, you know, adding that one line and just saying just syncing it up to Discord. And I do appreciate the fact that I'm as shocked as ever that John Delancey could actually sing. It's so unbelievable. I mean, I never realized that John Delancey had this much vocal potential. I mean, I've never seen much of him sing outside of that season premiere, where he's in the shower singing Winter Wrap-Up. I still love that moment. With that said, yeah, this was an interesting trip. Because I realized that maybe this episode could actually be something outside of the ordinary. Well, for me personally, I think that this has potential. I would say 8 out of 10, if it were for my ratings. With that said, next week they are spamming, well actually right now, they're spamming the promotions on the hub for next week's episode. And trust me, you will get your poke on for this one. Because I have been waiting for this episode, well, next week's episode, all month long. You'll find out in next week's episode. With that said, let me give you guys some new information. My friend Fire Brony, whom you know is my friend in England, is in need of voice actor help in his new video, Equestria Judgment, which is a new idea he's coming up with. Well, actually, he's still been in the middle of the process of working on it. But with that said, he needs some voice actors. Currently, he's trying to find Twilight Sparkle and a bunch of various other actors and actresses to, you know, fill in the roles for the video. And I'm been told by him to do this little promotion just to tell you guys. I'll leave you with a link in the description to his channel so that you guys can, access his channel and actually audition for him, because who wouldn't? So with that said, stay tuned next week as we take a look at the next episode of MLP, and I'll prepare to get my poke on. So, I'm the Frog Guy, and I'll see you guys next week.